Hello and welcome to Ranger Citadel. This is gonna be our hub, at least for a little bit, and I'm excited to find out what exactly is in it. Because it's teased us, it's gone like, hey, you can get to Ranger Citadel, all you have to do is do these couple missions, and now we're here, and wow, those are some powerful turrets they have at the front. Okay, so can we go straight forward? Though these massive, vault-like elevator doors have been polished to a military-grade shine, you can see small amounts of warping and tiny scuffs, likely the remnants of scorch marks, all around the edges. If you had to guess, the Rangers have tried everything from arc welding torches to C4 to open this behemoth with no success. Oh, so there's something underneath the Citadel, and we don't know what it is. Ooh, there's somebody here with a name, Grenadier Steel Dawn. Hello. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, okay, sure. Well, our plan has been to go right. Who's this guy? Master Grenadier Christopher Burr. Move along, Rangers. I wonder, just because they're named, and I think this was Kickstarted, I wonder if those are Kickstarter backers. There's a whole bunch in this game where I'm like, they've got names, I wonder. There was a whole generation of games that were in this style that were Kickstarted, and you're like, here's the Kickstarter section. Like Pillars of Eternity had the Kickstarter people, where their entire purpose and backstory was all just Kickstarted and things. So, interesting. This guy might be real, he's standing still. Dismiss companions. Why would I ever do that? You can remove unneeded or troublesome C NPCs from your squad by using the dismiss option on the inventory screen. A dismissed C NPC will leave the area and return to your ranger headquarters. They'll wait for you there until you return to recruit them again, to speak with them. You can only bring a maximum of 7 squad members with you at a time. Oh, okay, so they will remain here. Well, that's not too bad, but we're still allowed another 2 members, right? Yeah, so we're fine. Hello. Ancient and balding, with his ranger fatigues hanging baggy on his skinny frame, he wears his long grey hair pulled back in a tight ponytail, and his bifocals teeter on the tip of his nose. What a choice to make. Wish you'd saved Ag Center instead. Nothing I like better than their rubegas. Now I guess they're gone for good. Now what can old Flintlock do for you today? Let's ask about Ag Center. Because he mentioned it, you know? Well, Ag Center has its own showcase on the tour. Guess that's all there is of the place anymore. I don't know, what does he think of High Pool? We could ask that as well. Oh, got a whole display case devoted to High Pool right over there. Glad to know you saved the place. Okay. Did you call us children? Everybody's a kid to me. I'm older than dirt. And you? Well, you're just back from your first patrol, ain't you? Well then, guess I can call you what I want. How'd you get the name Flintlock? The fellas all joke that I've been around so long that standard issue... Fellas all joke that I've been around so long that the standard issue for a ranger back in my day was a flintlock and a coonskin cap. And well, they ain't far wrong. I got boots older than General Vargas's daddy. Okay, tell me about General Vargas. He's a good kid, Vargas. Helped us save the world from Finster and Base Cochise's robot army back in the bad old days. And he's been keeping us safe and strong ever since. Love him like my own son. Tell me about Base Cochise. Oh, back before the apocalypse, it was a military facility, just like this one, only Cochise was a robot research center. Then, somehow, about 15 years back, its mainframe had some kinda glitch, and it started thinking that humans were the enemy. Can you believe it? The darn thing started pooping out killer robots and sending them off to kill all and sundry. Well, the Rangers had to put a stop to that, didn't they? And, well, so we did. Blew the damn place to kingdom come. Ain't seen a robot since. Who was Finster? Oh, didn't you see his head in a museum? Crazy scientist type. Wanted to kill everyone and replace them with mutants. started making plagues to wipe us all out. Thank God Vargas and Angie and Thrasher and Hellraiser put him down like the mad dog he was. Is there anything you can help with? Well, as a matter of fact, I could... Oh, anything we can help you with. Well, as a matter of fact, I could use your help. The museum is always looking for interesting relics and artifacts from the past to add to our collection. Recovering that kind of stuff was the best thing the crazies who lived here before ever did. Trouble was, all they wanted was to hide it away. We want to show it to people, let them cogitate on it. Maybe figure out what some of it does. So listen, if you ever come across anything interesting while you're on patrol, bring it on back, and I'll trade you for what you found. I won't give you no junk, neither. I'll set you up with something good. Well, we found Ace's Ranger Star, and it deserves a spot in the museum. That's damn sad. But we're truly fortunate you found it, children. I'll add it to the collection. Ooh, that's a lot of XP. It'll help remind us of the sacrifices desert rangers sometimes have to make to keep the wasteland safe. Thank you, rangers. And more XP. We got double XP for that one. And we also found this amazing lamp. What do you think? Oh wow, it's indescribably beautiful. I'll happily add that to our collection. Can I have it? Yeah, it deserves a place of honor. Oh, thank you, rangers. You've certainly got the eye for the architecturologically interesting and fashionable. Well, in fact, I think you deserve a little something extra for this find. How about I let you take the red Ryder Rifle out on loan? I've got a handful of BBs, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to find more. Just try and keep it clean and make sure to point it away from your face. Thanks for the info, Flintlock. Okay. So what did he give us? It was the red Ryder Bb Gun. Oh, wait a second. And Red Ryder was the person whose book we have, right? Yes, that was the Legend of Red Ryder. Wait, where do we have that? I might not have it anymore. I might have sold it. Anyway, so that is the... Oh no, there it is. There's Legend of Red Ryder, and that was the person who came to High Pool and stopped and killed the person who killed the boy's dog. Oh yeah, and the boy. So Red Ryder was a ranger. 100% to apply I put out. Interesting. Does that lower their accuracy? Maybe it's a perk? It was blue, which is the only reason I'm checking. No, it doesn't say what it does, but I assume that has to be a debuff. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does just apply that debuff. Also a sniper rifle. I mean, we'll chuck it to our sniper. With the BB ammo. Yeah. Now the BB ammo had something on it. Useful in question marks. Okay. It's not amazing. I'll give you that. I'm trying to think what we would even use it for. It's got a high crit chance, but it could only crit on a 3. So it would only do like 6 damage. It does use a very small amount of AP. That is the only thing that matters here as well. That's the only other one. So we could use it 4 times a turn, which means that effectively we're actually looking at 4 to 12 damage, which could crit. So it's not that low in terms of damage if you do it constantly, and it does apply a debuff, but I don't know if we're going to ever use it. Let's just put it that way. Alright, let's explore the museum. Let's see what we got. A small square piece of plastic, coloured blue, orange and white. There are raised letters and numbers embossed on it. Most of the numbers have been rubbed off. You can just make out the letters H. Crusher, Esquire. Okay. You see, this is going to be full reference section, and I'm just missing it. Scratched into the science fictional eyepiece is the word Proteus. Okay, interesting. Oh, and there's more. There's actually more here. An almost human head. Only the wires sticking out of the neck let you know that this was never a living man. That and the slightly rubbery look on the skin. The clean sever at the bottom of these wires make you think that the head was removed after the robot had shut down. It also makes you wonder if the electronics inside might be undamaged. Okay. This case is filled with old-timey books, many of which show signs of considerable use. Some of the most bookmarked are Wretch Like Me by Stephen Heno, the unabridged Elf Manual by Collins McBrush, and the Macaria Carrion, Succubus Queen of Hell by Thom Brahms. You also spot the useful Fix It by Guy McVer hidden on the bottom shelf. Well, I get that reference, but yes, I didn't get the rest of them, unfortunately. Well, I think I got the Succubus from Hell one, but it wasn't quite what, you know, it wasn't quite a reference. Where's that Fix It book? I assume it's like a stat up book, which is why I'm looking for it. Ah, there we go. Fix It. I'm going to chuck it over here. This book has tons of useful advice on fixing anything. The chapter on radio repair has been bookmarked. There's a chapter on toaster repair you find fascinating. So I could use this, right? But hear me out. Each level is going to cost more and more and more and more, right? Yeah, like this is an 8 increase. This is a 6 increase. Wait, no, is that really yeah, that's a 6 increase. So I think we want to use it on an 8 increase level. Weirdly, wait, no, that's a 6 increase. I'm stupid. Yeah, so ideally we want to use it on the last level, because I assume that you'll get a point no matter what. So we should just hold off until either we need it or we can get that last level. Yeah, okay, sure. This shelf is filled with old-timey books. A few titles catch your notice. An American Life, The Book of Nauseatingly Correct Manners, and The Maximum Power. But you don't have time for reading right now. Make a note to get back to them for later. Okay. Ooh, Intelligent Reports, Memories in My Time as a Ranger, Part 3. History of the Desert Rangers, Parts 1, 2, and 5. Of course. We'll have all of them. Intelligence Report, Part 2. We know that there are 45 books. What is nice, though, is that we get an achievement every time I read a new book, which does mean I can know if I read it before. An investigation into the occurrence of robots in the Las Vegas sewers by Ranger Ann Elk continued. Another mystery of the Vegas sewers. Why these cyborgs all seem to be unique to that location. They clearly, unmistakably originated in Base Cochise, but most differed from the more heavy-duty cyborgs that were found in other places, such as the Slicer Dicer, the Scorpitron, the Threshing Crawler, Steel Reaver, or Silver Strangler. In general, the characteristics of the sewer cyborgs were thus. They were less capable in combat or less functional overall. They utilized organic materials in their construction. They emulated extant life forms such as humans, crocodiles, and boa constrictors, even though many of those life forms are not native to the desert region and have not been seen since the war. For this investigation, we interviewed numerous Vegas citizens, including some vagrants who had moved into the now abandoned sewers, which were more easily accessible than previously assumed. An open manhole cover in an abandoned part of Vegas led directly to the sewers. General Vargas's instructions were to include any theory, no matter how wild. So, from combining our personal findings and the observations in the sewers and eyewitness reports from bystanders and rangers, we can offer the following possibilities. Invasion force? The most logical theory is that these robots were an invasion force prepping to take over Vegas. But if so, the sewers make an odd staging area, and they've taken no aggressive actions towards Vegas before the Rangers' arrival, other than dismantling Max. Martian invasion force. As told to our researchers by Johnny Flatboots, one of the sewer's more colourful inhabitants, the cyborgs were a preliminary invasion force, and were not really cyborgs. Instead, they were actually Martian serpiopods, disguised as cyborgs. Researching the remains of cyborgs casts doubts on this theory. Dumping grounds. The strange and largely inferior nature of the sewer cyborgs could point to them being early prototypes developed by the Base Cochise AI, with the sewers being used as a dumping ground for unsatisfactory experiments. Okay, maybe. A buffer force. It is entirely feasible based on the robot's force location. They were meant as an emergency buffer against the threats from the east, such as the Desert Rangers or perhaps the mutants being spawned in by Erwin Finster. Programming Error 1. A partial decryption of the robot's programming revealed a command to clean out all the shit in Vegas. The ambiguous wording of this command was possibly misinterpreted. That would be good. Or Programming Error 2. All the robots entered through a single open manhole, but none exited through it. It is therefore possible that all the robots in the sewer can be traced back to faulty pathfinding and one missing manhole cover. That would be brilliant as well. Because of the limited sources of information available to us, we cannot discount any of these theories as a possibility, except perhaps the Martian invasion one. Our conclusions, therefore, are that C's invasion force, dumping ground, and buffer force theories all have a roughly equal likelihood of being accurate. But we cannot discount the possibility of programming errors in the relatively primitive cyborgs leading to theories 5 and 6. This leaves the final conclusion of this investigation regrettably inconclusive. Oh, well, that's good. Memories of My Time in the Rangers, Part 3. By General S. Vargas. Chapter 3. Walking Back and Going Forward. So, have you gone away and read Simac's history of how me, Angela Death, Hellraiser, Thrasher, and good old Ace killed all the robots, blew up Base Cochise and saved the world? Pretty exciting, huh? Good ending too. Neat, tidy, wraps everything up in a bow. The bad guy's dead and we all live. Beers and happy times all round. Well, like I promised you, I'm gonna tell you the bits that didn't make it into the history. Like how the trek back to Ranger Center nearly killed us, and how it led to us moving to our new headquarters. We didn't really want to walk back to HQ, not after getting the crap kicked out of us by robots for a day and a half. Unfortunately, the chopper wasn't in any kind of shape to fly us back, so we really didn't have any choice. We started marching. It wasn't easy. There were still plenty of killer robots wandering around, and plenty of other baddies who'd come snooping in the aftermath, hoping to pick up some fresh salvage. Tired as we were, we had to fight through them, all. Vax was a lifesaver here, taking point in every fight and soaking up a hailstorm of bullets. Then, once we got within a stone's throw of Vegas, and he saw we were safe, it turned around and walked into the desert. We never saw him again. Damn shame. Only robot I ever liked. In Vegas, we rested and restocked it. Baron Brygo's place. He welcomed us with open arms, and why shouldn't he have? Now that we've taken care of his cyborg problems for him, the last real obstacle to him crowning himself King of Vegas was gone. We smoothed the road for him, and he was grateful. At the same time, even as we rested and celebrated with him and his men, it was clear that we would eventually come into conflict. What with us being on opposite sides of the law and all. Still, he wished us well when we left for Needles, and I think he meant it. Everywhere on the road we saw signs of the Wasteland's continuing struggle with the robots and mutants that brought us north. People think that the Rangers blew up Base Cochise and that was that, but 100 anonymous struggles followed. Traveling merchants fighting refugee mutants from Darwin Village. The police in Needles fighting cyborgs. Even raiders fought those threats. It took years and years, but added together, all these minor skirmishes made the Wastes the relatively peaceful place they are today. Relatively safe place they are today. A few days on, we passed by Guardian Citadel, and had a look in to see what was worth looting. I don't remember which one of us first came up with the idea of taking it over. Maybe Ace, but who knows. It seems like a pretty obvious idea looking back at it. It was secure, self-sustaining, and well-stocked, and a damn sight more comfortable than the old prison. What more could a ranger want? Well, our return home was not exactly the beer and sausages affair you might have expected. I won't deny our destruction of the Base Cochise was key in winning the robot war, but as I said before, it was far from the only battle in that war. Nor were the robots the only threat we were facing at that time. There were also Finster's mutant nightmares, some of which had actually managed to breach the walls of Ranger Center, leaving many of our brave brothers and sisters dead. So it was a pretty sober homecoming. It also seemed to me like proof the Rangers urgently needed to move to a more secure location. So I went to General Sir Gru and told him of Ace's idea to move into the Guardian Citadel. Unfortunately, though he was a good man and a solid, dependable leader, he was not exactly a visionary. And, though I did my best to point out all the advantages of the plan, he refused, saying the times were too unstable and a hasty move was too risky. Angela, Ace, and I kicked up a ruckus, like the young hotheads we were. But the old man wouldn't budge, and so did the Rangers. Finally, however, time and age did what youth and impatience could not, and General Sir Gru retired. In the meantime, I'd be climbing the ranks and taking on more and more responsibility. When he finally stepped down, I stepped in to take his place. We treated the old man with the respect he was due, but didn't wait too long before organizing a move to what is now Ranger Citadel. And I don't think anyone can question the decision now that we're here. We are now more secure, better positioned, and stronger than we ever were before. Okay, Simak, I'm done. It might have been boring. There may not have been enough fighting. That's what real life is like. It might not be interesting. But there's always more to a story than just they won and they moved to a new home. Okay, cool. History of the Desert Rangers 1, 2, and 5? Let's go. 1. The story of the Desert Rangers begins in what many would have called the end of all human history, after the nuclear blast changed the face of the world forever and left human civilization with scars that would never heal. But humanity's resilience is its defining trait, and it should surprise no one that pockets of survivors survived the nuclear holocaust. I've got to say, I don't know if it's just this font, but something is messing with me trying to read this. It is just, I don't know. It's not very readable to me. Anyway, whatever. We'll keep going. I say pockets speculatively, and some would call me a fool for doing so. For though rumors persist of mutants being cured and turned into humans in Florida, these are obviously fairy tales. And in the century since the nuclear war, we have, in the Arizona waste, have heard no credible reports of others surviving outside our lonely stretch of desert land. It is therefore fair to assume we're the only ones left. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but some of the grammar seems incorrect, but maybe it's just colloquial. Like, maybe you're meant to be, it's meant to all be with that, twang, and the cutting out words here and there and adding in extra ones is all part of that. I don't know. Anyway. The Desert Rangers started as an army corps of the Engineers Battalion, who were deep in the Arizona deserts, constructing roads and bridges on that fateful day when the bombs fell. Their isolation saved their lives, but could do nothing for their frightened, broken hearts. One can only imagine the horror they felt as they listened to the reports of their home cities and states being obliterated one after the other on their radios. The engineers did not know how or why the nuclear war happened, no more than we do today, but their supplies, military training, and knowledge of the region gave them advantages over their fellow survivors during the apocalypse and the chaotic years that would follow. They commandeered a nearby federal prison, being welcomed as saviors by the few remaining prison guards, and in a show of mercy that might have perhaps been better if tempered by wisdom, the Rangers freed the prisoners into the desert. Why? Perhaps they felt that the apocalypse had already killed enough people. Perhaps they simply didn't want to waste ammo it would have taken to execute them. In any case, the prisoners survived, which led to a volatile mix of survivors all living together in a wasteland. Isolated farming communities, scientists from secretive research facilities, citizens of small towns just looking to get by, but opposite them were not just the rapidly mutating monsters of the desert, but equally monstrous humans, cultists, and cannibals. Many of these threats were from the original prison population, as well as formerly law-abiding citizens who saw the end of the world as an excuse to abandon all of civilization's constraints. Faced with such villains, the army engineers could have hidden in the prison and lived only for their own survival, but they did not. Hearing the cries for help coming from the distant radios, they invited many to join them behind their strong walls. They aided others more established towns, helping them build walls and protect their homes, training them in the arts of defense and war, and perhaps helping them develop into strong, stable communities. Oh, and wait, these are all by Ranger Simak. Interesting. So this is who General Vargas's memories were like addressed to. So is Simak a historian here? Possibly. Finster and Cochise. Armed with this information, the Rangers marched off to end the cyborg menace, but it wasn't going to be as easy as walking through Base Cochise's front door. To fight the androids, the Rangers were going to need more and better equipment. To that end, they explored another old facility known as the Sleeper Base, where an automated training program taught them how to fly helicopters. From there, they travelled to Darwin Village, yet another ancient military facility. To their horror, they found another major threat to the Wastes here, as the former director of the facility, an insane cyborg by the name of Erwin John Finster, was creating dangerous mutated creatures that he hoped would inherit the planet once the cyborgs and a dangerous plague he developed had wiped out all humans. Unable to reason with Finster, the Rangers decided to end this threat before it truly started, destroying him and the base. Soon after, the Rangers learned that the keys that would allow them to enter Base Cochise were held by a dangerous xenophobic sect known as the Guardians of the Old Order, who were obsessed with preserving technology and keeping it out of the hands of the common people. When the Guardians responded to the Rangers' request for the keys with unnecessary force, the Rangers assaulted their fortress and the Guardian Citadel, a massive facility built into the side of a mountain. We now call the place Ranger Citadel. In the end, Hellraiser, Angela Death, Thrasher, and Snake Vargas battled their way to the Guardian's inner sanctum, uncovering a cache of power armor and a functional attack helicopter, which they flew to Base Cochise, wiping out the android patrols sent to destroy them and landing on the roof. Inside the base, we found a malevolent computer known as the Base Cochise AI, mass-producing their robot Scourge. The Rangers tricked the AI into creating an administrative robot they named Vax, and with Vax's help... Did I just hear a sound effect? Anyway, and with Vax's help, they dismantled... There it is again. Dismantled the robot-making machinery. But, knowing that the base would eventually repair itself, that they had only stopped the robot horde temporarily, they plunged into the heart of Base Cochise and fought through a gauntlet of mechanical madness to start a chain reaction of explosions that eventually wiped the base off the map. You know what? This sounds entirely like a plot of the previous game. You know, they went here, and this told them that they went here to learn how to fly helicopters. They then went here, and they found another thing they had to deal with, and then they had to get some keys, so you have to go over to this place. That definitely sounds like a game plot. What made that sound effect? I have no idea, but I really hope it was in game and not outside game, because it was weird. I also really hope that you heard it, otherwise I'm just sound like a crazy person. Alright, we got anything else here? Oh, oh wait, we're no longer vivified. Oh, okay. Oh, that was from the I guess that was from this? Okay, sure, I didn't know we had an effect on us. Anyway. A gnarled wooden staff with a disturbing reddish tinge and a crust of dried gore at the business end. Just looking at it fills you with a nameless dread. Interesting. Okay. What else have we got in here? In our history tour. The statue shows the back of a head with 3 tentacles instead of a body, each gripping a stiletto knife. The opposite side of the head shows the same. A plaque on the base says, "A Ranger, in the year of Who the Fuck Cares, Eric Tideman." So we gained a skill point each? Oh, cool. Well, let's see what we can get. What was this one? Oh, that's just clothing. Okay, that's fine. So we got 2 skill points here. We go for like outdoorsman or something, but we already have an outdoorsman. He kind of got taken over by Angela. Angela just took control. I guess he can get kiss ass, some more of that. Yeah. Hope. She has 4 points remaining. You know what? Might as well just even hers up. She can get smart ass. Scooter. We could make him better with handguns, but again, that's not his purpose. I say that every time about him. With Heat, I am going to improve her perception, because we're looking around places right now, so that seems immediately useful. And Angela, you only have 1 point. Okay. Ooh. Let's use perception first. While the cannon has been dead for years, its parts seem to be in working order. Someone with knowledge of machines and how to repair them might be able to get a little power flowing. This gun is so big and bulky it'd be mounted on tank treads. Looks like it could pack a wallop. A small placard on the ground reads, Mason Cannon. It has no chance of failure? Oh, well. Or no chance of mega failure? Just keep trying it then. Yeah, we can just keep doing it. It should trigger after 3 times. Maybe the failure is actually succeeding. Success. A flash of energy over a long dormant power coupling flows over a long dormant power coupling, then dissipates. While you've done all you can to repair the cannon, the only lasting result is a continuous hum at the very bottom range of your hearing. While your repairs seem to have reawakened some bit of tech deep within the beam generator, it'll take years of study or a miracle to get this thing back in working order. Okay, well, we've done it now. Is that good? I don't know. Oh, it's just a jukebox and a clock. Okay. What's this? A computer of some kind, gently illuminating the area with dim light. Scooter, your computer man. Use it. Wasteland snake. Find water. Okay. Sure. It's snake, huh? I don't know what I expected. Well, we'll just give it one go, you know. See how far we get. I hate this. There we go. You have to be very quick on it. Oh, this might be the end of us. Ooh, no, we're going. We're going into the center. Right, down for the bottom right one. This one's a little bit problematic, but we still got it. Yep, cool. Up here. Another one. No, it's death. Okay. That's about enough of that. Maybe there's something if you get a higher score. I'm not into that. What is this? That is glorious. It's got a ranger riding a T-Rex. Got some weird Nazi thing over there on the right. You got someone... Is that a cyborg riding another... That's a pterodactyl. What is up with that? That is weird. Okay. A plastic card with a black stripe on the side and the words Sec Pass 7 written on the other. It's seen a lot of wear and tear. Okay. Somehow the Rangers managed to keep an intact M388 Davy Crockett tactical nuke in perfect shape for the last 150 years. Every part, wire and actuator looks to be in working order. Do you think the warhead is live too? Maybe. A toaster? This toaster is in need of repairs. It's only... Alright, we got 15% chance. This is time for the book. I know. I said, well, we should keep the book until it's the right moment. Well, you know what? This is the right moment. Oh, wrong thing. Toaster repair. It's still only a 15% chance. No, okay, we'll leave it. Alright, I'm going to converse with the nuke. A bright red button blinks silently on the control panel below the launching mechanism. Well, I can't not, right? Detonation initiated. Have a nice day. Oops. Well, that was unfortunate. The nuke you set off in Flintlock's library may have been small, but it was enough to kill everyone inside Ranger Citadel, thus ending the Desert Rangers as an institution and a force for stability in the wastes. Oops. Well, thank you for watching Wasteland 2. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and yeah, we will come back next time to try a different path. See you then. Goodbye.